hate to say this, but it looks like we're gonna side with Brittany on this one, Meredith. It sounds like you went way too far. Let's break it all down in today's recap.
But I'll be on it always, always and ever.
Hey queens, welcome back to my queen cave. My name is Shelby, queen of the Queen Cave, and in here I drop recaps and reviews of my favorite TV shows and movies, commentary on any topic I find interesting. I'm gonna put a pause on the Queen Chat because this is the third time I'm having to film it, so it is delayed. Sorry about that. But again, it is coming also with my Pam Grier video that is in the works as well, just taking a tad bit longer to get some details worked out, and because I'm still doing 2 recaps at once. So I'm getting things together, it's on the way, and we deep dive into Black history, Black culture, and icons that help shape that culture. If that is your vibe, hit the subscribe, you already know the deal. Today we are recapping The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 9, Unicorns Overboard. So now it's the next morning. We have Whitney, Heather, Angie, and Brittany. They all go do yoga with Captain Jason before breakfast. And in Heather's confessional, she tries to be all sexual, saying all these sexual things about Jason. She says she hopes he warrior twos all over her. Yeah. What the fuck? Heather is so annoying with these sexual innuendos. No one's picking up on it. No one is looking for those things. No one is asking for those things. I'm sure Captain Jason was gonna go ahead and do a hard pass, just like he's doing with Brittany. So I don't know if you think of Heather because you guys are quote friends, he's gonna do something with you, but I have not seen none interest from Captain Jason to you. But, okay. Next, Brittany is over there expressing how frustrated she is of the double standard with the group, of how it's always a problem when she says something, but not when everyone else says it. And then we get over to Meredith and Lisa's room, and Meredith is going off about Brittany. She is pissed off. She's saying that she's dumb as fuck, and she compares her to the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. And then she says she has all the smoke for Whitney for not coming to her directly when she first heard this from Brittany. So we get into that later at the breakfast. Brittany then says, get this, she says she is confused as to why Meredith went off on her like that because she came to her with good intentions. Huh? When did you have good intentions, Brittany? Because you came at Meredith with that information as if you were trying to drop a bomb on her. You were trying to sit over there and like rub this information in her face. This was not coming to her as in like a, Meredith, I'm coming to you as a friend. I want to let you know I saw this on TikTok, X, Y, and Z. You came to her with this whole, oh, well, I heard this about your marriage. So for you to now come and backtrack, talk about some, I came with good intentions, that's bullshit. No, you didn't. Next, and surprisingly, Heather is defending Meredith, and she's saying like, well, what reaction were you expecting to get when you're coming with this information about her husband that you got from the onlines? Why would she give you a nice, friendly reaction when you are coming to her with this gossip and it's not even being done in a friendly, hey girl, I want to talk to you, let me pull you to the side type of thing? You are trying to throw it in her face and embarrass her. And now that she's going off on your dumb ass, going off in your ass, you want to be mad about it and now you want to be the victim. So let's go ahead and take some accountability of the fact that you did not come with good intentions, you wanted to be messy, and now you open the can of worms and you can't take it. Let's just be real. So now we have Bronwyn. She's being messy as fuck, and she grabs Brittany's Jared Dummo unicorn, and she brings it to Meredith's room. And Meredith is once again in there calling Brittany dumb as fuck, and she shouldn't have ever gotten out of character for her dumb ass. And then Bronwyn has this amazing idea to throw the unicorn overboard. Like, are we being serious? Like, her and Meredith get dressed up in these inflatable costumes that she had from the same time last time, and good thing nobody's hand got smashed in the fucking door like Angie. But yeah, they went up there and was doing all this theatric bullshit, and they threw the freaking thing over the board, and I was just like, Now, let's be real. I don't care for Brittany, right? I don't like her. I think she's annoying. She's thirsty. She's boring as fuck. She's a deadbeat mom. All that, right? But let's just be real and say this was unnecessary. I don't feel like this was something that needed to be done. You guys are being extra petty. You guys are taking this to another level to where now some might say, sorry, it's bullying. So, I thought this was petty, childish, and stupid, and they're over there snickering about it, hee hee ha, and I'm like, again, that is somebody else's stuff. So you wouldn't want anyone else to do that to your stuff. You shouldn't do that to her stuff, regardless if you don't like her or not. So that was wrong in my opinion. So now the girls sit down for breakfast, and Whitney is asking Meredith how her toe is feeling after she bashed it on the corner of the shower. And she tells her that she's doing all right, but she might need surgery. And she says that she's strong enough, she's used to having hatred come towards her. And she's over there like signaling towards Brittany. And I'm like, how does you bashing your pinky toe on the corner of the shower have anything to do with any hatred coming towards you as you're looking over at Brittany Meredith? Like, all this passive aggressive, childish, like, bullshit she does is so extra, and that's where you lose me, Meredith. Meredith once again calls Brittany a dumbass, and then she looks over to Whitney and she says, my issue with you is you didn't come to me specifically after you heard this. You sat there with Brittany going back and forth on the validity of these claims without telling me about it first. Whitney immediately tries to clarify her intentions on not coming to Meredith. She says that she wanted to give Brittany the chance to do it since she's the one that found the video, and come to her first and do the right thing. And in her confessional, Whitney doesn't think the video is that big of a deal, so she's really confused as to why Meredith is going off so bad. And I'm thinking, like, why wouldn't you understand why she's upset? Like, someone is talking about her husband having a mistress. Like, regardless if it's true or not, it's like someone is putting slanderous rumors out there about me. So it's like, why would you not at least be annoyed or upset that someone is trying to bash your family and put this image around that your husband is cheating? You know, so it's just like, I think there should at least be some sort of consideration for that part. But yeah, Brittany again expresses she thinks there's a double standard in the group. When someone else talks about people's husbands, there's no big deal. Like when Lisa said that whole thing about Bronwyn being a gout dick sucker, yeah, there was no problem with that. But when she does it, it's a whole big issue. She then again said that she came to Meredith with kind intentions. Right. This gets Meredith pissed, and she calls her a bold-faced liar, saying that she did not come with good intentions. You came with an attitude. You wanted to sit over there and throw it in my face. And now Brittany wants to be petty right back to Meredith, and she goes and she starts flipping her hair on Meredith, the same exact way Meredith was doing it to Brittany while she was talking to Whitney. Meredith gets pissed off, tells her, do not touch me, don't put your hands on me, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, Meredith, you did the same exact thing to Brittany 5 minutes ago. Why is it different when she's doing it to you? You cannot dish it, but please do not start dishing it, but you can't take it. Please don't start having a clear double standard here that we can all see in real time. Yeah, we just saw you do the same thing to Brittany, so do not start crying when the same thing happens to you. Next, Meredith now gets up to move away from Brittany, which I don't understand why they were sitting by each other in the first fucking place. But she goes over there to sit by Whitney, and she tells the girls she's not fucking with anyone that is fucking with Brittany. And when I heard that, I was like, so what, we're back in fucking high school, Meredith? Like, everyone has to follow you, and if you don't like them, they can't be friends with her either. That's some bullshit. Heather thinks Meredith is being so childish, and she does not understand how she can easily forgive Lisa for hearing that she was trying to have Angie dig up dirt on her and her family, but she can sit over here and be as mad at Brittany for what she said that she heard from TikTok. She thinks she should apply the same forgiving spirit she did to Lisa to Brittany so they can move on. Bronwyn tries to get Mary, a mother and a woman of God, to intervene, and Mary's like, get somebody else to do it.
Can you record me real quick? Can you record me real quick?
Get somebody else to do it.
Oh, it's for audition.
She just thinks it's pointless because they're more worried about proving their point than trying to get a resolution. So she wants to stay far away from it. The girls are now packing up to leave, and Brittany is going around looking for her unicorn, and Bronwyn is real happy she has separate flights from the rest of the girls. And as the girls are about to leave, one of the crew members brings Brittany the unicorn, and it's all soaking wet. And Brittany's like, oh, it's wet? Like, how did it get wet? And the crew member's like, oh, it was in the ocean taking a swim. And Brittany's like, like, who the fuck threw it in the ocean? So all the girls are over here like, I don't know. And Bronwyn and Meredith, I don't know. Who did that? Who did that? Are you kidding? So now, after Brittany goes down the line to ask everybody if they did it, finally Meredith comes clean and she's like, okay, it was me and Bronwyn. We did it. We thought it was funny. Haha. And I'm like, I already knew that was not going to blow over well. Like, regardless, if you like that person, you should still respect their stuff. So that was awkward as fuck. And you can tell the rest of the girls are looking at them like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, what did you do that for? So I thought, once again, very mean girl, very unnecessary, very bully-like. So now we get to the plane ride fiasco, and this is when Meredith allegedly loses her shit. We have two versions of events. We're gonna go through Brittany's first, since it sounds like the most accurate. Brittany explains she's the last one to board the flight, and when she gets on, she finds out she's sitting right in front of Lisa and Meredith. And she says right after the plane takes off, Meredith now gets mad all over again about the comments that Brittany made, and she is pissed. She's over here screaming, yelling, calling Brittany all these names, trying to be loud and draw all this attention to Brittany, trying to embarrass her. She then says that Meredith stands up, shakes her seat hard as fuck, which is now pulling her hair, and somehow wine gets spilled on her. She then says Lisa aggressively comes around the armrest, and she's like in her face telling her, you fucked up so bad. Show Meredith the TikTok, and you need to apologize to her right now. So now she's over here having Meredith and Lisa all in her face. And the rest of the girls back up these versions of events, with Heather saying she was asleep for most of it, but was woken up when Lisa was screaming at Brittany, telling her, just show her the fucking TikTok, show her what it was, you need to apologize, you fucked up X, Y, and Z. And then Mary said that it was a shit show. It was a whole bunch of chaos, there's a whole bunch of screaming, it was extra. Whitney backs this up, saying that Meredith was all in Brittany's face, screaming at her, calling her all these names, X, Y, and Z. And then she goes into Whitney's face, demanding to see the video. So now Whitney is getting the smoke as well. Lisa is really adamant. The only thing she said to Brittany was to show Meredith the TikTok video. That's it. She didn't scream at her. She wasn't in her face. That was the only thing she said, which we all know is some bullshit. Next. And then Meredith, her version of the events is entirely the exact opposite. She says the only thing she did was vent to Lisa about the situation. For 15-20 minutes, there was no screaming, yelling, nothing. The only thing she did was talk to Lisa, and that was it.
The lies! There you go, this bitch.
The lies.
And basically says whatever the girl said was complete lies. And she says if it did happen that way, she would have been arrested or something else would have happened. And I'm like, just because you didn't get arrested, Meredith, does not mean those things did not happen. You have 5 people, 5, saying all these things about you and Lisa. So I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and side with those people and not you guys, which clearly is letting it be known you don't want to take any accountability, because if you did, it would show how immature and unstable it's seeming like you guys are acting, because this is not a rational, reasonable response by any means. You're going the extra lengths. Now you are over here shaking her chair, pulling her hair, spilling wine on her for some reason. Why are we doing all of that, huh? And you're over here trying to humiliate her on the plane, calling her all these names, calling all this attention to her in the first class so everyone can look at her sideways. What are we doing here? Like, again, you can be mad all you want, Meredith, but this is not the way to go. You have lost a lot of the support here when it comes down to this moment, because you're dead wrong. It is most definitely bullying. And Lisa, you didn't do anything for yourself when it comes down to favors, because we already know you act like this. You egg it on. You jump on the bandwagon whenever you can to team up with Meredith when it comes down to bullying somebody like Brittany, because she's an easy target. So I don't want to hear anything about you just simply were talking and I didn't do anything. Bullshit. The lies, the lies, the lies. So now we're getting to Bronwyn and Mary. They're going out for lunch, and Mary is telling Bronwyn, you are so smart for not flying back with us. That plane ride was a whole shit show. She gives her the full rundown on how Meredith was crashing the fuck out, and then she admits, although I have issues with Brittany, I don't care for her at all. I don't think that what Meredith did was right, and I agree, and I'm glad we can at least say this is wrong regardless if we like Brittany or not. And then we get over to Whitney. She's playing golf with Justin. She gives him a full rundown of the events of the trip. She says that Lisa was egging the whole thing on. She was getting in Brittany's face, telling her that you fucked up. And then she says that Meredith also got in her face and was all pissed off, demanding to see the video. We get over to Lisa. She's in the car with John, and she gives him her version of events. And she says that Meredith was venting loudly to Lisa, but she was not talking to Brittany specifically. And then she says that she didn't say anything at all to Brittany. She basically declines anything to do with her yelling, screaming, doing any egging on of the bullying behavior. She says she calmly told Brittany to just show Meredith the video so they can move on X, Y, and Z, which is complete opposite of what everyone else was saying, which we already knew she was going to be bullshitting this entire thing. And in her confessional, she can fully understand why Meredith is getting so upset because people are talking about her marriage. She basically is saying like, I see why she's so mad, XYZ. And I'm like, she can be mad all she wants. The way she's going about it is wrong. The way she's doing it is wrong, period. And now Heather meets up with Brittany and she's trying to check in with her, see how she's doing. And Brittany tells her, I haven't been sleeping very well. I haven't been eating. I'm just really shaken up about the whole thing still. And Heather says there's nothing to justify what Meredith did to her. And she thinks that when Meredith and Lisa get together, they become bullies. She then says that Meredith and Lisa got mad at Heather for her trying to intervene, which is like, you wanted her to what, dogpile on with you? That doesn't make any sense. Brittany in her confessional feels really disappointed in herself for crying because she feels like she gave Lisa and Meredith the satisfaction of seeing her break down after they were trying to humiliate her. And she says she's actually very surprised and upset that Lisa was in on it. She was egging it on. She was kicking her seat, doing all this extra shit, getting in her face after she had been such a good friend to her this whole time. She's the main one that was defending Lisa behind her back, all this stuff. And when it comes down to it, Lisa is not a good friend for you. She is never going to be there for you. And I already knew that. I already knew that from the jump. This whole thing about, oh, Lisa's my friend. We gotten so close after the last trip. I already called it as a whole bunch of bullshit. Lisa just had you around to have someone as an ally, if we're going to be real. Now that she no longer needs you, she dumps you off and acts like you ain't shit. That's the reason why it was so easy for her to kick your chair and get in your face and scream at you and do all this shit like you were somebody off the street, because she never cared about you in the first place, Brittany. So I'm glad you can actually see that for your own two eyes after everyone else could have told you that a long time ago. But some people need to learn on their own, I see. But it was sad to see that Brittany was getting down about this and it was still affecting her as bad as it was, because from what it sounds like a real pile-on. It sounds like the typical shit you would see in like those trashy high school movies where they're like really bullying. So I'm sad to hear that Brittany went through that, but it'll be really interesting to see how they continue to gaslight and manipulate about this going forward when everyone else is trying to hold them accountable. Heather is looking at both Lisa and Meredith hella sideways, and she fully supports Brittany in this whole situation. And she says that if Meredith and Lisa can't acknowledge their wrongdoings and fully apologize, they do not deserve the friendship of the group. Whitney and Bronwyn are now meeting up for lunch, and I love Bronwyn's outfit with this. It is so whimsical, it is so cute, and it is so Bronwyn. Bronwyn tells Whitney the version of events she got from Mary, and Whitney just adds on to that, saying that Meredith and Lisa were crashing out on the plane. Bronwyn is questioning if the situation happened as badly as the rest of the girls are saying it did, because nobody recorded the event happening. She's thinking like all this chaos and nobody got any receipts. Like, okay. And then she says like, if that was the case, Meredith would have been arrested, been on a no-fly list. So she's not really fully convinced it happened the way that the girls say that it did. Carries on from that and tells Whitney that Todd was actually exposed for cheating on her, quote, and he was looking at women in lingerie. She said that it was going all around Twitter that someone on that flight saw Todd. They were able to get all the exact details for proof to show that they actually were on the flight and they actually did see Todd doing these things. And Bronwyn said when she brought it to Todd's attention, get this, Todd tried to gaslight her and tell her that maybe it was coming from her friends, it was a rumor from them, as if people didn't see this with their own two eyes. I don't know if they got receipts of this, since we're talking about receipts, I don't think there was any receipts of anyone getting a video of that, but someone that was sitting close to him saw the whole thing and put it on Twitter. So now Bronwyn is over here pissed off at Todd. She said that he had a business trip the next day after she found out and confronted him, but she made him stay in a hotel room and leave for his trip the next day. They needed space from each other. So right now, they're not in a good space. But Bronwyn explains that she would have felt a lot better if Todd would have just came to her first if he wanted to go out and be with other people. So they get into this whole conversation about how Bronwyn is open-minded to not essentially an open marriage, but she tries to say, like, if Todd was interested in inviting someone else, and I don't know if she said the bedroom or the relationship, something like that, she would go for it. Like, she would be okay with it. And then she says, like, she wants to have a certain sort of arrangement with Todd that allows them both to go out and see other people or deal with other people. They just would come back together and always tell each other everything, no secrets, and they would maintain their partnership. And I'm thinking, how is that not an open marriage? Like, how is that not you giving that person essentially a free pass to go out and cheat just as long as they don't embarrass you, essentially, is what I'm getting. I'm getting the fact that Bronwyn doesn't care. Quote, she wants to make it seem like she does not care that Todd was doing these things. She just wants to be in the loop, and she also wants to do the same thing. And she points out the fact that there's this age gap between the two of them. You know, it's bound to be something that will happen at some point because Todd is so much older than she is. And Whitney actually piggybacks off of this, and she says that her and Justin were actually going through the same thing a few years ago with their marriage, and she wanted to have a sort of open relationship and have them have some sort of agreement. They want to make it seem like this is not an open marriage. It is. Just because you have an agreement and you guys agree to have no secrets and tell each other everything and still basically come back home to each other, it's an open marriage. Like, just say what it is. You are clearly understanding your husband is getting up there in age and he could not satisfy you the same way he used to. So now you don't want to leave the marriage. You don't want to leave what you guys have. You just want to be able to go out there and get your side dick because you're not getting it from your husband. Like, that's just point blank period. That's what they're trying to say. This is not oh, we have an arrangement. This is not open marriage. They want to make it seem like it's not an open marriage so bad, but it really is. And Whitney's like, yeah, you know, once the kids are out of the house, I want to be able to do whatever I want. And I'm like, then you need to get divorced, Whitney. This is not you can have your cake and eat it too. That's what it seems like. You want to have your cake and eat it too and still come back to your husband and have your husband go out and do whatever, as long as you guys come back here and say, oh, well, I fucked this person today. Are you cool with that? Like, what kind of marriage is that? And Heather is at lunch to meet Lisa. And Lisa is an hour and a half late. Like, completely disrespectful to Heather's time. All that shit just in her face. If you needed any other proof, Heather, that Lisa does not give a damn about you, please add this to the list. And at the beginning, it's very awkward. And Heather starts off by telling Lisa Brittany wants nothing to do with you, and that gets Lisa extra mad and defensive. She tells Lisa, I saw you screaming in Brittany's face and you were egging things on, and this gets Lisa extra pissed. Lisa again is adamant she didn't even say anything to Brittany other than telling her to show Meredith the TikTok video, and she said that Meredith actually wasn't even ever talking to Brittany. So it's like, you guys are saying you didn't talk to Brittany at all, and everyone else is saying you are not only talking to her, you are yelling in her face. So which one is it? Because is everyone else lying and you guys are the ones that are being lied on? It doesn't sound like it. Heather really wants Lisa to take some accountability of this whole thing that she's involved in. Heather feels Lisa is trying to gaslight her about the timeline of events just because Heather was asleep for most of it. And Heather's like, even though I was asleep, that does not mean I did not hear the things that woke me up with you screaming in Brittany's face. So you can tell me all day and night you did not do that shit. I'm telling you, I saw you with my own 2 eyes. Lisa is now trying to defend herself, and she explains that Meredith did not shake Brittany's seat. She only used it as support to help her get up to go to the bathroom.
Really, nigga?
Like, you cannot make this shit up. Are you kidding, Lisa? How do we go from Meredith violently shaking Brittany's seat, doing all this shit, to now saying that she simply used it as an anchor of support to help her get up? That sounds like two completely different versions of events. And who do you think we're gonna believe? I don't think it's gonna be you. You are knowing to be a lying liar who lies on all the shit that happened with you. And when people try to call you out, you wanna do all this deflecting, you're getting all defensive, X, Y, and Z. But it doesn't look like you're gonna be able to do that this time. And then she says that Brittany should actually take accountability for her talking about Meredith's marriage. And then she was upset that the girls were trying to tell Lisa to get Meredith under control. And she's like, I don't have any control over Meredith. So you guys telling me and having that be my responsibility is bullshit. She ended off by saying she does not owe Brittany an apology for shit. And she feels like she's been a great friend to Brittany, which the rest of us are like, I don't know what you're seeing, Lisa, or what world you're living in, but we are seeing you treat everyone like dog shit, and you want to make it seem like you guys are friends. So I don't know what your version of friendship is, but it doesn't seem like you know how to be a real friend to anybody. Next. And now we get to Meredith and Mary, and Mary is trying to get to the bottom of what was going on because she'd never seen Meredith so mad. Meredith now gives Mary her version of events, and she says that she wasn't even speaking to Brittany the entire time. She thought she had her headphones on, but she thinks that it's not that big of a deal because she's already said all this stuff to Brittany's face. She thinks this whole thing only happened between like 15 and 20 minutes, and then she tries to gaslight Mary, telling her, you don't even know all of what happened because you were asleep and you were kind of far away. Then says if it was as bad as what the girls say, she would have been arrested or something bad would have happened. And Mary's getting irritated because she's like, you're not gonna gaslight me into telling me I don't know what happened just because I was asleep for some of it. I was still on the flight. I could hear and see all of it, so don't play with me. She thinks that Meredith is refusing to take any accountability because she does not want a hit on her reputation, because if everyone knows how you get down like this, it's gonna lose business opportunities, I would think. Meredith in her confessional continues to try to gaslight the rest of us, saying that Mary could not possibly know all the facts. She was way too far away from the commotion. She should not be trusted. Essentially, she thinks that Whitney's the one that got in her ear and told her all this stuff, even though, like we said, you guys are all in first class together. The plane's not that big, Meredith, so you cannot cover up to make it seem like none of this happened. The girls are all lying. So everyone's lying but you and Lisa? Like, the most unreliable source on the cast, Lisa? We're gonna believe her? I don't think so. And after Mary tells her, you really should apologize to Brittany, Meredith is now thinking about it. She says she'll think about it. She doesn't know yet. No, girl, you need to apologize. Just go ahead and get it over with. You were wrong. Say you were wrong so we can move the fuck on. That's gonna be the end of the episode. I thought... Once again, we are getting some more juiciness. I love Salt Lake City the best. It's the best out of all the rest of the franchises as of right now. It has the most drama. It's the most consistent. I haven't seen a filler episode yet. How did you feel about the episode? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did like this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!